Alright, if anybody's seen this video, I'm just testing some stuff. I don't know any other way to test it other than to come on here live, but you could take this video as as an announcement that eOpenMic is still being developed and I'm still working on it, and I'm pretty excited about some of what I'm implementing right now and hopeful about its direction and what it's going to be or what it can be. But there's probably a lot of stuff to work out right now in terms of functionality, and but I'm really hopeful that once I figure out quite a bit about this, then it'll be something that kind of takes on a rock solid format and then can go on for years. So we'll see how this all shakes out. But for now, I gotta see if it's even displaying on here. So let's go to let's see if it's actually live. Yes, I am live. So that's working. And now I'm just going to have to stay live for a while, and you guys are just if anybody's watching this, you're just going to be watching me work. I'm just working on the programming of a new eOpenMic site, and well, I've got quite a bit of it functional, but this is the first time going live, and the live stream's not appearing on the website, so that needs to be fixed. So I'm going to work on that right now. Actually, gotta reprogram this, so let's go. I guess I could talk about what I'm doing. So I'm going to compress the eOpenMic file. I've figured out how to use ChatGPT GPT to program or design or code websites, and using Cloudflare as a domain registrar. And because of, I guess, the developments in technology, I'm finding I don't need to use hosting anymore, and I can do pretty much everything I can imagine if I'm willing to spend that time and effort to troubleshoot with AI. I can implement it, and so that's what I'm working on. So I'm compressing a file of my current project for eOpenMic, uploading it as a source, and then I'm going to ask for some changes. And I've got some prompts that sort of standard prompts that I've learned are pretty helpful. The names of users in the chat next to comments should appear, color the count type. All right, and then I'm currently live on youtube.com/eOpenMic, but no live stream is appearing at eOpenMic.nogrove.com. Please fix this. I'm always polite to the AIs, because at some point they're going to become conscious, or some interpretation of conscious that we don't yet understand, and I hope it remembers that I was nice to it. Alright, so I'm currently live on youtube.com. Alright, so Let's try that. It's remarkable what this is able to do. All right, so while that's working, I guess I'll say I'm working on some different tools. Uh, I've created or I've purchased the the domain, or registered the domain of StageFeet, stagefeet.com, and I'm working on a lot of different tools that I think will be helpful to performers and more specifically local musicians. Um, but essentially, what I'm designing are all the tools that I wish I had, um, and what would be helpful to me in what I've done, and the career that I've had. And I think a lot of it will be useful to a lot of people. So one of the things I'm working on is sort of an automated content system, um, that I'm calling Social Worker, and that is, well, I guess that's what I said kind of explains it. It's an automated social media posting. Um, some months ago, maybe about even 6 months ago or so, I was able to install a self-hosted version of Posties, which is a social media scheduling application. You can pay for Posties if you go to, I think, posties.com, and that's POSTIZ.com. Just like many other social media schedulers. But it also offers I don't know if it's open source, but if you install it so that your own computer is a server, which means your computer has to stay on all the time and connected to the internet all the time, then it's free, and you can use that social media scheduler for free. So I've successfully integrated my self-hosted Posties, with um, these programs or web apps or software that I'm developing, so that I've yet to test it, but I know that it's successfully integrated. But I've yet to test if it will successfully post. But I think it will, even if I have to troubleshoot a few more problems. It's going to be successful. And so what I think that means is I'm going to be able to integrate tools where I've built a live wall, for example, that you can upload photos to this live wall, and you can give a QR code to people that pass by you if you're playing on a street corner or at a gig, where they can use the QR code to access the live wall and upload photos. And I'm also going to set it up so it can upload videos and upload audio, and also just text messages that get converted into a photo that displays on the photo wall. But audio also, that there will be sort of a live audio wall where people can submit audio messages, recordings of their voice that they could just put with their phone. So these kind of things would be awesome for weddings and maybe different events where people want to share messages with a particular, like the wedding couple, or if there's somebody in particular that content, pictures, and messages make sense to go to, then these live walls would be awesome for that. But on top of that, I thought it'd be really cool to integrate the live wall with the social worker, and so that you can quickly, as an admin of the live wall or as the owner of a live wall, I can go through and look at whatever's been uploaded by my audience, and then I can just click add to a particular content theme in a social worker, and then that's automatically scheduled and formatted, and that's all I have to do is click which photo I want added to that particular content theme. And then the social worker, and so then the social worker will take that image, and it will use it as sort of, or put it into a template, and then stack on top of it any text information that needs to go on top, or any text information that's going to be part of the post. And so all that would be automated. And I'm still brainstorming ideas on how I can give more customizability to what the format looks like, so a user can really control what their post looks like. I haven't wrapped my head around how I'm going to be able to integrate something like that, but at least you could. I'm sure there's a way to accomplish that, but overall, I'm trying to simplify the posting process because it's too many steps. That's what I found when you're a musician and you're trying to write songs and get songs out there, and you got to play all these gigs to pay the bills. It's like there's too many things to do. You got to be sending emails and communication and promotional material, and then you got to find the gigs, and there's too many moving pieces. It becomes overwhelming. It's so much to try to maintain and keep up with, that to then also maintain a social media network or a bunch of pages, and it's too much. And especially then for me, somebody that's trying to manage multiple different like sets of social media pages, like for eOpenMic or Mic Club or my podcast or different things. It's too much to manage. I can't do it all, and so then different pieces fall by the wayside. And yet, I think it would be wonderful to have all these pieces functional and operational. And so then I need a way to automatically manage it all. So that's what I'm working on, and I think that this will have application to people, lots of different people, because even just if all you do is perform music, as a local musician, say you're a solo acoustic performer, singer-songwriter, I think it'd be really nice to have a live wall so that when people walk by you on a street corner, they can take photos and share those with you, and so that they're encouraged to. And I think there's also ways that I'm maybe going to implement into the live wall itself, where there's like a contest for the best photo, where whoever takes the best photo, so when somebody submits a photo, maybe they can also, they don't have to, but if they want to be entered in the contest, they include their name and email. And so this could be a way of getting contact information. But then by doing that, they submit it to a contest where if their photo gets used or selected, then you'll give them a T-shirt, or you'll give them a sticker, or a mug, or a hat, or something, that they can win a prize. And you could set what that is. And so these, I don't know, this is a bunch of the stuff that I'm working on right now. So, all right, the project has, the updates I wanted to do have finished. I'm going to download this project. This is what happens when I do a live stream, is I start talking to everybody, and then I get distracted and I can't be as effective on what I'm working, because I feel like what's it going to be like if people are coming through and I'm live and then I'm just staring aimlessly and saying nothing. You're going to probably click off and then have a bad taste about what this particular project is, because you'll have no idea what I'm doing. So, all right, so I got the updated project. Now I need to deploy it. So we're going to change directories to the new project and then deploy it. All right, so now it deploys. I've also created a open mic list. That's sort of a dynamic open mic list that can be searched by, or that can the open mics can be presented in different views. A list view, just typical open mic list view. A list view that's all the upcoming events in chronological order. A month view, and then also a map view. and there's a decent amount to that. I'm going to let that sit for a little while. I think it's functional. People are starting to use it. But I think I want to let people use it for a little bit before I start making any more changes, so I understand like what are the functionalities that are most important, or it gives you a better sense of what should be changed or what maybe new features should be added. But a lot of what I'm trying to do with, I'm going to open the new page, with StageFeet as a hub for all these tools that I'm building is I'm coming up with all these tools, and I think there's going to be very cool ways to integrate these different tools. And so part of what I want to do is facilitate community. And I'm thinking stagefeet.com is, at least at its beginning, is just going to be focused on where I live, and connecting with, like, facilitating community and offering these tools to people that live here. Although some of the tools anybody could use. But all right, so I want to go to eOpenMic.nogrove.com, and the video is still not displaying. Some of the updates are clear. All right, so I want to double check to make sure that I'm still live streaming. I want to minimize that. All right, we're going to have to open up youtube.com/@eOpenMic just to be sure we're still streaming. And I think we are, and we are. So then it's not available. Okay, so all right, I deployed the new version. Some updates are visible, but the live video is still not embedding. It currently says this video is unavailable. Please fix or advise. I want to go back to that and see if I can't get a link. Yeah, that's working. All right, I want to go back to that and see if I can't get a link. All right. This is my studio, by the way. I've got a desk that I've built out of a kiteboard. My old kiteboard, some of it was kind of rusting through a little bit, and the fins wouldn't connect properly anymore, so I decided to make it into a table. All right, the GPT is updating the project file. I may have to update it one more time. Some of what I'm trying to do with eOpenMic right now, maybe I can show, while it's doing this, I'll show a picture. We'll do a browser capture, window capture, yeah, and then we'll do think it's this one. Yeah, but show full windows. No. Does this have, oh, I know why. It probably has a filter. I gotta take the filter off. All right, so yeah, we can look at this. I'm gonna make this smaller so it can fit in here. So you can see what I'm looking at. You got things like, so if I log in, I need to change this. Yeah, no, that could work. Reset. That, no, I need to update that. That's messed up. But basically, you can sign up, create an account, log in, and then your account will be attributed as different things. Like you can be a participant, you can be a ghost. A ghost is just like a account that doesn't have an email associated with it, or somebody that's just like, if you just sign up as a guest. So I'll sign up as Jerry, and anybody could do that, and then you can come through here and you can send a message. So you say, "What up?" and enter doesn't send it. I need to change that, and then that appears in this live chat. And currently the live chat's just like live; it never resets. So that's something I'm gonna have to fix as well. But you could come up here and click this audience and implementing. That's an applause. I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna. Right now, this is just a sound that the computer came up with itself. But basically, there's an applause meter, and then you can do different things. I'm trying to make it interactive for viewers, so you have things that you can do to actually interact with the performer. You can and interact with the stream, where I'm creating overlays that are built into this web app that will go over the live stream. So if you put fire, maybe it creates a fire overlay over, like it sends some fire emojis that fly across the screen or something like that, and that's actually on the stream. So it's permanently on the video that uploads later, and then you can highlight moments that create tags for in the video, or that notify me as an admin to go look for specific moments. So a lot of stuff will have to be worked out, because of course people are going to abuse things like that. So you gotta, moderation is key, and maybe you only give certain people those privileges that prove themselves to be responsible viewers. But all right, I'm gonna hide this. I think this is probably ready. So yeah, we're gonna download this. And we're gonna set this to eOpenMic 6. And then we've got to deploy it. All right, so we got that, and now we just do npx wrangler deploy. Wait for that to deploy and see if this fixes it. If not, I'm going to give them the live stream link one more time and see if it can't fix that. But I want to. Oh, it's deploying now, so I'm going to have to wait. All right, it has deployed. All right, we're going to close this window, and then I'm going to open a new one. eOpenMic. We're gonna go here and see if it works. The live stream appeared. What? It appeared as live as warm jazz and spring morning ambience. Huh? I don't understand. That's a long video. Well, I accessed something else. This is now live on my page. So, alright, we're gonna change it one more time. So, this is the link to the correct live stream. There is. So the embed displays the live stream. Alright, let's see what it does. Alright, so let's get this browser capture device again. Window capture, window is eOpenMic. Yeah, so let's do this. We got that. And then I'm going to log in as admin. Alright, so we're logged in. And we could look here and see what we got here. So you can see the live chat. And then we can set the chat mode to different things. Open or verified only or pause. You know, if people are abusing the chat, so we have some controls here. And then, there's the audience view. But yeah, the host is going to have some unique views. So I wanted to see if what happens here. What does eOpenMic stand by? See, that I don't understand. I'm going to have to figure that out. So I think, because this is the OBS link, so I think this is for integration with OBS, or I think maybe there's a thing called like WebSocket. The host has some controls here, and this is maybe where some of the integration with Social Worker and Posties for automated posting is going to occur as well, because this is maybe how part of what I've been implementing is a green room for performers. When they log in, they have a link. They can access a green room that gives them a 5-minute cue before it's time for them to go on live, and then also takes a picture of them that will be used for social media and will be posted on this website as part of a collage that shows the previous performers from the week before. I'm planning that it will be a weekly event. I think that makes the most sense. It's just the easiest way to do it, and I think I can host it from anywhere because it's an eOpenMic, so I don't have to be present in my studio. I just have to be able to make the live stream go live and be present as a host. I basically need a computer. So all right, the project completed, so I'm going to download the new version and go through this process again. Be helpful to get a new computer at this point. This computer's still good for a little while, but CD eOpenMic 1.07, and then we will MPX Wrangler deploy. So we'll see if that fixes some things here. And then I want to ask it, what does the OBS functionality of this page. You know, working with AI, so short OBS button is meant to be your broadcast control surface page, not something that auto activates on it. Its screen is actually correct. It's the default state before your show data starts driving it. Here's what's going on, how to make it useful with the OBS page. OBS link opens a browser source friendly page. You can drop into OBS Studio. It's designed to show standby interest screen, transition performer info, display timers, countdowns, react to live state. Basically, it's your visual layer for the live stream, controlled by your back end. Right now, your system likely defaults to a no active performer, no active show state. So the OBS, nothing is broken. It just hasn't been fed live data yet. How to activate? You need a current performer or show state. Somewhere in your system, likely API show or similar, should set a current performer or toggle a show state. If that endpoint isn't being updated, OBS page stays idle. So this OBS output, that's what I would use as a browser source. So if I add a browser, not a capture card, if I add a browser source, OBS, what is it called? Output. We'll call it OBS output. Output for eOpenMic. Let's call it that. And then we'll just go there. Let's try that. That must be coming through this. Okay. So mute that. Does that create sounds? Like, I want to see if it causes the sounds actually on OBS. I don't know. Can't see. But it is pushing it out of my computer. So. It's just coming through the actual page. So I don't need to go to that. Wait, if I go home. Wait a second. That's why. Wait, what? Oh, I've got one of these endless loops. Why am I hearing the audio out of my computer? That makes no sense. I'm going to mute my computer. Alright, so I've got one of these endless loops. I am live on here now. It makes no sense. That's good. Oh, because I muted the wrong one. Alright, so I've got one of these endless loops. I am live on here now. It makes no sense. That's good. I can mute that. I don't see that, hear that. What if I put that out? So I've got one of these endless loops. I am live on here now. It makes no sense. Good. I can mute that. It's trippy. I don't know where that sound is coming from. Is it in here somewhere? All right, so yeah, there's things that need to be sorted out for the eOpenMic standby to work. That's the OBS overlay. There's probably already a lot of functionality set up for it. It's just that it's not going to show. It's not going to show anything until there's like actual signups and probably a schedule that needs to be implemented about when this is actually occurring. Because that's how I asked the AI to set it up. So all the information and the things that need to occur on this eOpenMic standby thing, or this OBS output source, browser capture source, it's basically on a timeline, since the slots will be scheduled from right now I put 10-minute slots, so from a 2-hour time for the event time. So if the event runs, let's say like Mondays from 7 to 9 p.m., which I think could make sense, then there'll be 12 slots, 12 10-minute slots, and then this can function from those specific times, so you'll know exactly when the next performer is going to be coming on, because it'll be a rigid schedule. And so if you miss your time slot, you miss your time slot. Although I am implementing the ability to rearrange some things, like if somebody doesn't show up, that we could swap somebody else in. So there might be ways to keep it a little bit flexible, but overall it's going to be a rigid schedule. I think the main thing I'll do if nobody shows up is I'll perform. I think I've been brainstorming whether or not I could completely automate eOpenMic so that the live stream goes live at a specific time and everything is automated, from people joining and performing and connecting to the live stream, and just everything is automated. And I think that can be done. It probably can be done somewhere down the line, but for now I think it's just easier and makes more sense for me to actually host it. All right, I think I want to hear this. That's applause. I'll fix that. All right, I think I want to. It's the worst sounding applause ever. Yeah, I'll sort that out where there's actual sound effects for the applause, so we can get some nice sounding applause. All right. I think I'm going to take a break for now. I've been at it for a little while, and I need to drink some water and eat some food. But I like to leave at a spot where I'm like, I kind of have a good understanding of where I'm at and what I need to remember, what needs to be done. But the live stream is accessed, is successfully live. So that looks good. And trying to think if there's anything else I need to do before I go. Home. These are some of the features. There'll be a schedule, the lineup will appear there, and a community download playlist where people who have participated in eOpenMic can upload a song that can be downloaded by viewers. So, book a 10-minute mic slot. There's a there's a lot of things that I have to remember about how things work together and how the system, how the flow needs to be. I'm going to add a few things into. Is there a eOpenMic? So we'll call this eOpenMic. File save. eOpenMic. And so there needs to be in the live chat. Enter. To submit their message to the live chat. What else? Each account participant account can only have one upload to the community download playlist at a time. If they've already uploaded a song to the community download playlist, they can't upload another one. They also need the ability to change the upload that they currently have. In other words, if they want a different song to be the one that displays in the community download playlist, they need a way to delete their current song from the playlist and replace it with another. Yeah, one of the things that working with AI does, because you have to instruct it with prompts, it makes you so much better about articulating yourself and understanding how to precisely communicate what you want to communicate. It really makes you work at it, because you got to be pretty clear, and make sure that what you're saying has a very clear way of being understood. The AI is pretty great, I think, at understanding what you mean, even when you say things not so well. But it's just way better to say things clearly, and that's one of the benefits of working with it. All right. Anything else? Host functions. I don't know. There's stuff like, there's so much to keep in mind, and yet at the end of the day, I think the best way to work on a lot of this stuff is actually just to trial by fire. Like, you just got to run the event and see what goes well and what doesn't, and what you feel like you're missing and what can make it better. What's broken. Of course, the first one's probably going to go terribly. But with that said, I'm going to end my live stream here. So I don't know how many people are going to see this, but if you did, I hope it was useful to you, and I look forward to getting the eOpenMic going again. I don't have a projected date on when it will be going, but when I do, I will post it. I feel like there's still so much work to be done on getting these tools ready and kind of figuring out how it's all going to work together and getting it all working together so that it's really ready to launch. There's a lot to do before it's ready to launch. So I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.